ominously in 3 of the 4 directions. From my vantage point atop what seemed to me the 1,000,000th hill the mixed breed had forced me to climb since we'd fled the western coast, I had a view of 3 lakes nestled in various locations in the ocean of emerald trees. The setting sun had not quite escaped the sky, and its golden rays set the crystal-clear waters shimmering. I took a moment to fantasize about what it might feel like to slip into one of those lakes. I wondered if their magnificent waters were strong enough to wash away the stains that marred my insides, the blood that coated my hands. With my luck, there would be monsters living in the depths of those pools, and they would swallow me whole as soon as I dipped in a toe. This thought brought a very sharp, very specific memory back to me. The memory of a pale, white coat and large, terrified eyes. The sound of water churning and a crowd screaming in excitement. A sea serpent with snake-like eyes and scaly skin, and a maw yawning wide to reveal a throat of beckoning darkness. Something touched my arm, and I jumped, my teeth clenching tight enough to make my sore jaw ache. Adriel pulled his hand away with such swiftness I barely saw him move. "We're getting close," he promised. "Then we can eat and rest." "I'm fine," I gritted out, and stalked past him in the direction we'd been heading. When I glanced back, he rolled his scarlet eyes again, and the urge to smack them right out of his pretty head struck me. But before I could decide whether or not to act on it, he said, "Whatever you're thinking, you're welcome to try." "Insufferable," I muttered, pushing onward with renewed purpose and refusing to look back again. "Right back at you, dearest," the mixed breed mumbled. We traveled the rest of the way in silence. If the sight of the place had awed me from afar, it absolutely astonished me as we drew close. Now there was nothing I could do to keep the wonder from my face, and I didn't even care to. Only 6 moon cycles ago, I'd thought that Marisol, the city by the sea and home of the former West Coast packmaster, was surely the most stunning place to exist in all the worlds. Even before Adriel led me into the town of Mina, I could tell that Marisol's beauty paled in comparison to that of Adriel's professed home, like the vibrancy of the full moon compared to that of a single, insignificant star. Standing in the shade of the towering evergreens we'd been traveling through for millennia, I nearly had to grip the trunk of the tree nearest me to steady myself. "Goldie's here?" I asked, and didn't care how amazed the words sounded. "Yes," Adriel replied. "She's been here since she left Dog's Head." I took a deep breath. Then another. I nodded. "Okay, take me to her." The mixed breed lifted a dark brow at me, that vastly annoying humor appearing on his handsome face again, despite the weariness lining his exquisite features. "Please," I gritted out. A slow smile pulled up one side of his mouth. "Of course," he said, and led the way out of the rolling emerald trees and into the streets of the town itself. Despite my overwhelming anticipation at seeing my old friend again, I soon found myself once again lost in the wonders that seemed to abound in Mina. It was not the modernity that made it a marvel, nor was it a quaint quality, but rather a purposeful mixture of the two, as if the architects of the place had taken the best attributes of the old worlds and the new and combined them to create a category all its own. That's what Mina was, I realized, as we wandered further into the town. A category all its own. With those monstrous white-capped mountains providing a backdrop, the shadows of early evening had begun to creep in around the edges. The buildings were all different shapes and sizes, none tall enough to obscure views of the surrounding forest, with roofs poised at sharp angles and walls made of stones and varying proportions. Round windows offered glimpses at the occupants inside, many just sitting down for supper or an evening cup of tea. Golden light filled these circular frames, and my strong wolf ears picked up the sounds of laughter and the clanking of glasses and silverware. "Is this where the masters live?"